And I hate it.
Really?
From theme park districts to ethics oversight, Governor DeSantis' appointment of Glen Gilzean as Orange County's election supervisor sparks debate on the intertwining realms of governance and private interests. Let's unpack this implication.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis appointed Glen Gilzean as the new supervisor of elections for Orange County, Florida, succeeding retired Bill Cowles. Gilzean's prior roles include serving on the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District and as chairman of the Florida Commission on Ethics. The appointment raises questions about Gilzean's simultaneous responsibilities and comes amidst preparations for the upcoming presidential preference primary. Let's go, Joel.
Well, you can't make this shit up. Here is one of the most prominent African American Republicans in Central Florida. Glen Gilzean, while he was in charge of the Urban League, was an inspiration to a lot of us Republicans because he's very conservative. He's very involved in the community. He brings a compassion that our party lacks at times. But when you meet Glenn, you'd understand why he's given so many responsibilities by the governor, because he's just that guy that really understands the community. So I think this, David, is a good choice.
Mm-hmm,
and I
sure.
think that when I don't respond a lot on social media unless it's directly within our network.
Okay.
But when I hear somebody on LinkedIn, like Anna Escamani, attack the governor by using Glen Gilzean, it frustrates me because this is a gentleman, and he really tries to do what's right. And if he makes a mistake, he'll make a mistake. But he's going to be trustworthy enough to take our elections and guide us through them. And I hope he runs. I hope he takes and breaks the norm and says, you know what, I like this job enough where I want to be the candidate, because Republicans would have a very good shot of winning with Glenn because of who he is and how he cross-pollinates the parties.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Supervisor Gilzean. A great appointment by the governor, as your Republican conservative friends will say. On the political side, Democrats, they definitely have their hands full with the appointment of Glenn. My concern is this an appointment just to hold the seat until someone new is elected, or will Supervisor Gilzean actually file for the position, qualify for the position, and run for the position in November? Because I just don't. I see the appointment as a good appointment by the governor. Gilzean is a close confidant of the governor, so the governor will want someone that he can trust to come into Orange County and do their election integrity thing, whatever. My concern is that the supervisor he's got a lot of balls in the air here. He's juggling a lot of balls in the air.
Glenn has a lot of balls.
Okay. I mean, his role on the Central Florida Tourism District, his controversial role on the Ethics Commission.
Well, he's no longer on the Ethics Commission because he didn't realize he should have. The lawyers should have advised him correctly, but
Exactly.
you know, he
There
was
was a little,
there was controversy there.
a little
So
controversy, and will he have both feet in, the tourism district and the supervisor's office at a time where both are needing quite a lot of attention? And how long will he stay? Is this just
so
another bullet point on his resume? The
well, it's
school
definitely
board,
it's definitely
the
in
Ethics Commission, da 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 da
Yes.
da. So I'd love to see a little bit of consistency and see someone in that position for the long term. And let me speak to the Democrats on this. There's so many Democrats that are running for this position. And if I was the chair, if I had some, authority in the Florida Democratic Party, I'll bring everyone together and say, hey, let's all rally around one candidate and just try to get that Democrat elected. Because if the supervisor does run for office, I think, despite the demographics, more Democrats than Republicans in Orange County, I think he will have a good chance of winning the seat.
Oh, I think Glenn has a great chance of winning. But here's where I want to talk to Democrats. Was Bill Cowles such a bad supervisor of elections that the place is so bad off that you can't have a Republican step in and maintain what you had? Oh, that's right. It must have been a shambles. Bill Cowles must have been the worst supervisor of elections, the way you're talking, because you're basically saying that nobody can step in and finish this term. I mean, literally, you're basically saying that Bill Cowles did such a shitty job that the governor putting in a Republican is going to disrupt what happened.
Well, Bill left because he wanted to make sure that the next supervisor of elections, this is just hearsay, would be ready to pass on the torch and prepare.
He left because he wanted to retire and he wanted to
not live in the
state, not live in the state of Florida. He wants to follow his children off to where they go. He wants to be with his grandchildren.
Right.
Look, the man
He's tired.
He's tired, exactly.
34 years.
Look,
he's tired.
I will now get beat up by my party because, listen, I think Bill Cowles did an outstanding job.
I think
that he worked really hard at trying to keep a balance. And not very often can you walk in and talk to a Democrat in a position and not know he's a Democrat. I mean, if you didn't see the D on the ballot, this guy truly knew how to talk to both sides. And I think that's what you're going to get with Glen Gilzean, which scares the Democrats to death.
I'd love to see it if it's more than just 8 months, or how long it would be, until the next supervisor of elections is sworn in.
I would say that the Republican Party here in Orange County needs to rally behind him, push him, get him to do the right thing and run for this position. This is not Governor Scott, where he puts somebody in last minute and tells him, I don't expect you to run. I will not give you this appointment if you're going to run. And that's where Scott was.
It's hard to turn down or to walk away from a $400,000 job at the Central Florida Tourism District and take on a $200,000 job. But I'm sure that Glenn is doing okay. But there's one thing I do want to know about us, your political innovators. We called this.
Of course we did.
We said months ago when Supervisor Cowles said that he was retiring, who was on our leaderboard. And Glen Gilzean was on top of it.
Both of us. We both called this one. And this is what political innovation is all about. Knowing who your players are in your community. Knowing who the person was that was best. And what did we say? Our only hesitation on Glenn was the amount of money he was being paid, and to walk away from that to do this job.
Exactly.
But this is a lifetime job if you do it right.
Agreed.
I mean, if you don't step on your toes like some people in other counties have, this could be a lifetime job because it's a trust job. And I trust that Glen Gilzean will do a great job, even if he only holds it for 8 months. But I would urge him to run, and I would say that Jay in Washington, I'm gonna plug us. Jay in Washington's ready to scour the entire county for you because, look, there's way too many Democrats in the race, and I don't think any of them are Bill Cowles quality.
That's a good point. There has to be a balance between public service, political allegiance, and institutional integrity. And hopefully, Supervisor Gilzean will be able to do that. The voters need that. Orange County needs that. Florida needs that. I do have my concerns. However, we'll give Supervisor Gilzean a chance. I've seen all the posts on social media from various Democrats. Stop the whining. Do what you need to do to elect a Democrat to the position. Get out there, register people. That's another story. Democrats are getting their butts kicked statewide as far as registration, but that's a different story. But Democrats, do what you need to do to take back the seat. That's all.
You would think there were no Democrats in Lake County or any of these Republican counties because they just keep growing and growing and growing. That's where you need to be.
Right.
You need to be changing minds if you're going to do anything. But you know what? The Republican Party's doing the right thing. We're registering voters. That makes it easier for us to predict who's going to vote for us because you can't just assume they're going to. Super Tuesday was a very interesting thing, and I can't wait to have a conversation about that. But thank you, David. Glenn, please, I'd like to have a chance to talk with you. I'm going to congratulate you personally. And look, if you're out there and you disagree with us, please make your comments. Let us know. Especially like if you're working in the newspaper, because you guys are silent on these issues. You guys like to beat them up.
Scott Maxwell said something recently. I'm like, okay, where were you a long time ago? But that's a different story. Our beef with the Orlando Signal, that's a different story. But
please please share, please make your comments known and make us a better company. We are your political innovators here at Jay in Washington. Also, I want to plug the new book that David has allowed me to put out under the Jay in Washington Network. It's history in verse, and please, we'll have it up and ready to go with all the links and everything. But please, take a look at it, $9.99 for the first month here if you get it. But if you don't get it early, it's going to go up in price. So thank you very much.
Thanks.